Welcome back to another unboxing and posing review. I hope you all have been doing amazing since the last time we spoke. Today, we'll be taking a look at Marvel Legends Daredevil and Punisher from Daredevil Born Again. Plus, we'll be doing some posing at the end. I have been a huge fan of Daredevil ever since I watched the first season when it came out on Netflix a little over 10 years ago by now, and then the same thing happened when we were introduced to Frank Castle in season 2, and now I'm a big fan of Daredevil and the Punisher. Despite being a little cautious when I heard that Disney were the ones that are going to be making the new season of Daredevil, seeing these characters on screen again in Daredevil Born Again was an amazing feeling, and I cannot wait to see what other content we get from these two versions of the characters. Although we already know that we're getting a season 2 of Born Again, and the Punisher will be in Spider-Man Brand New Day, so I'm hoping we're going to see some more figures of them in the future. But I do have to say that these Marvel Legends figures may have catfished me a little bit, especially the Punisher. But if you enjoy these types of videos, definitely hit like and subscribe to the channel for much more content like this. But now, let's get into it. As you all know, every good unboxing must start with the box, and these ones look really cool. You can see the Marvel Legends logo up there, it says Daredevil Born Again right down here. It's a Hasbro logo, it says Daredevil, Punisher. Yeah, these are some pretty awesome boxes. And of course, the thing I love is that if you see them in store or something, you can see an open window to each figure to decide if they're worth getting. And that's where I feel like I might have got a little catfished, more specifically on Punisher. So you might already be able to see it, but of course, when we take a closer look at each figure, I'll put up a little picture of the listing photo, and yeah, you'll kind of see. But we'll kick things off with Daredevil here, and we looked at the front of the box, but the side is pretty awesome as well. I love that artwork right there. Just look at that. Then it says Daredevil along the side. You got Marvel Legends up top. Going to the back, this is gorgeous. You have some more beautiful artwork of Daredevil right there, and you have a little read up here. So I'll bring it in close so you guys can actually read it. Feel free to pause, read that, whatever you want to do. Then flipping to the other side, yeah, you have that beautiful artwork. I absolutely love how this box looks. On the bottom, just some warnings, and up top, you got the double Ds. Now moving on to the Punisher, like I said, the front of the box looks awesome. Going to the side, you have some beautiful artwork down there. You have the Punisher name, Marvel Legends at the top. Then going to the back, you have that beautiful artwork right there. You got the skull, you got him. Yeah, that looks great. And then of course, there's a little read up for him. I'll bring it in close. Feel free to pause and read once again. But yeah, I love that they do that. Now going to the other side, you can see that artwork once again, just looking beautiful. You got some warnings on the bottom and the double Ds up top. So now let's get these things open. So I just popped their top so we can get a satisfactory slide getting them out of here. So starting with Daredevil. Oh yeah, that was pretty satisfactory if I do say so myself. And now for the Punisher. Nice and really fast. Okay, yep, got him. So actually, one cool thing, which I would have never noticed till I take them out, you see that background in there? Daredevil's is black and the Punisher's is red. I guess it's like a little contradictory towards each other, but that's so cool. You can actually see like a building in there. Man, that's an awesome little background. So now we have a little Daredevil and Punisher sitting right in front of us. So what I'm going to do is take everything out of the packaging and then we'll take a look at all the accessories. So you can see that Daredevil and Punisher come with the essentials. So we got Daredevil's accessories here on the left and then the Punisher's here on the right. So starting off with the hands, Daredevil and Punisher each only get 4. For Daredevil, you get this open style hand on the left, and then you get a closed fist for the right. And on the figure right out of the box, you get a pair of Billy Club holding hands. So looking at one of Daredevil's hands in a little bit more detail, you can see the red plating in there for his armor, and then the actual gloves have some nice wrinkling on them, and I'd say these look pretty great. Then for the Punisher's hands, you get a left kind of gripping or trigger finger hand and a right closed fist. Then on the figure right out of the box, you get a right trigger hand and a left kind of more open style hand. So looking at his trigger finger hand in a bit more detail, there's a lot of sculpt work in there for the veins and then the wrinkling and yeah, even the palms. These are really nice looking. Now we'll take a look at Daredevil's Billy Clubs. So they're asymmetrical. You can see that this top piece is a little longer because in the show, of course, you can put them together and just attach them, but for the figure, you cannot do that. Now looking at the Billy Club up close, you can see the nice sculpted detail that you can actually feel in there for the red handles and then the nice like silver paint application up here for the top. There is a little silver on the bottom, but if you look at the very bottom, yeah, the paint kind of blends together. So not the greatest, but then again, who's going to look at the bottom? And then on the top, there's a hole there because you can actually connect the two Billy Clubs together using this rope. And this is awesome. It's not posable. There's no wire in it, but it is pretty soft. So if you really, really want to, you could probably find a way to pose it. The Billy Clubs themselves are also pretty soft. You can bend them a little if you need to, but what you do is you just take this little peg, you pop a Billy Club in on that side, and then you just go to the other side and then pop this one in there. And you can see once both billy clubs are in there, you can put Daredevil in a very nice kind of throw in the billy club pose. So I'm kind of excited to do that one. Now for the Punisher, we'll start with his knife. This knife is pretty soft. You can see mine's kind of bent right out of the box. I mean, yeah, look at that. So the knife is pretty soft, so you could definitely reshape it. But yeah, just be careful because if you bend it, it's probably not going to look too great. But you can see the blade has some nice little detailing on it. The handle has a nice sculpted plastic that feels really good. And I kind of like that. Then I also really like his hatchet. This looks great. I love feeling the detail in there for the handle. You see that shape up there. Of course, it's a little soft so you can bend it, but not as soft as the knife to where it's going to look pretty weird. And then last is his handgun. You can see it's pretty nicely detailed. You can see all the sculpt work in there for the port and then the actual like trigger. And then of course there's some silver down here for the magazine. You can't pull it out or anything. Would have been cool, but yeah, I really like that. So that's all the accessories. I will say I kind of wish Punisher came with his shotgun because oh yeah, that was awesome. And then Daredevil, maybe they could have given him a swap out like head sculpt or something with the actual broken horn. But the accessories you have here are serviceable and they'll get the job done. But now let's look at the figures in greater detail, and we have to start with the Punisher. So I'll put them kind of off here to the left, and then I'll make sure in editing to add the actual listing I saw on the right, and you guys be the judge. Did I get kind of catfished? Because I feel like the listing photo looked a lot better. But then at the same time, I know I collect 6 scale usually, so I'm used to, some head sculpts downgrading once they go from prototype to the actual production. So that could be just what happened here. It's a little unfortunate, but I still feel like the likeness to John Bernthal is super strong. Like if you look at this, yeah, that's John Bernthal right there. So yeah, for this scale, I do really like the head sculpt, but yeah, he also just looks kind of sad. But it makes sense, considering if you read the back of the box, what happened to his family, so we'll allow it. But looking around that head sculpt, you can see his nice fade in there when he got his haircut because, yeah, he was looking a little rough there when Matt first met up with him in Born Again. But this outfit is incredible. So I think this might be his best live action appearance. I know, I love the trench coat, but I just love how this outfit looks. So like I said, usually I collect 6 scale, and Hot Toys is who usually makes the Marvel figures, and they have not yet announced a Punisher. They announced a Daredevil from Born Again, but not a Punisher, so I'm just waiting for them to give us this suit, and they better because I love this one. You can see the skull on the chest, and man, it looks so good. It looks like it was spray painted on there with all that detail. I will say, you have to bend him back a little if you want to see the nose, and then he just looks odd, so that's a little bit more of a downside, but still, it looks good. But looking at the sleeves, the wrinkling, the everything, it just looks amazing. I love the little patches on the side. Of course, you got the backwards American flag. And then on his belt, you can see all the extra ammo. I wish you could take them out, but it makes sense that you can't. Then on the back side, you can see the holster for the knife. And then, of course, his actual pistol. So, we have to actually put them in there now. The knife just slots in pretty easily. Hopefully, it'll kind of reform its shape while it's in there. And then the pistol slots in pretty easily as well, like so. So we have the pistol in the holster and the knife on his hip, and I love that you can actually store the accessories on them. Looking at the pants, they're nice and wrinkly, and I love that tactical pant look. That is what makes this outfit for me. Just the fact that he looks super militaristic, and of course, the beautiful skull. But going down, of course, he's got knee pads, and then the boots look really, really good. You can see all that sculpted tread on the bottom, and man, yeah, this is a gorgeous little figure. And up next, the man without fear himself. Daredevil. I love this figure. Obviously, when you see the head sculpt, you're going to know it's Daredevil, but the stubble, everything down there for the actual mouth, yeah, that looks really good. And, we could say we see Charlie Cox in there. That mask just looks amazing. Of course, I'm excited for the 6 scale one. So when Hot Toys releases theirs, I'll do a review. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see that. But this one looks really, really good. You could feel they actually sculpted the detail in there, and then the actual black lines, and then the horns are nice and pointy. That is so, so good. Then looking at the outfit itself, it's a beautiful red with all the black. Of course, I did notice that the little D's in here, those could have been actual chrome or painted silver, however it actually was in the show. Same with, I believe, little pieces on his wrists. So there could be some improvements there, but I still love this figure. Like, look at the back there. You can actually feel and see all the lines in there for all that detail. Going down, you can see his little holsters down there for his billy clubs, and you can see his knee pads, the buckles in there for that holster, and then the boots, once again, look great. You can see all the straps along the side. There's no real tread on the bottom for him, but yeah, I just love this. Now, of course, we have to slot his billy clubs in the holsters, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. Goes in nice and easy. I think I should have done it the other way, but you know, that's fine. So now Daredevil and Punisher are all geared up. And real quick, I kind of want to show you my Hot Toys ones. So now you can see my 6 scale Daredevil and Punisher. So on the left is the Hot Toys Daredevil, the yellow suit from She-Hulk. And yes, I know She-Hulk wasn't the greatest show in the world, but that suit is awesome and I absolutely love it. Then on the right, that Punisher actually is third party, so it's not officially licensed or anything, but it looks great. I love that head sculpt. I love the look because it's kind of like his Punisher season 2 look. So in my display, that Daredevil and Punisher look awesome together, and I'm so excited to get the Born Again versions. Even though they are 6-inch figures or 12 scale, they are still going to look absolutely phenomenal next to the 6 scale figures in the display, and I'm so excited to pose them up. So of course, let's go ahead and do that. So for the first pose, I have Daredevil and Punisher back to back, and these figures look phenomenal together. So I just love the way that Daredevil's red complements the Punisher's black so well, and these two figures, they just work together so nicely. But to make these figures look even better together, let's start putting them in some action poses. And now this pose was Daredevil kneeling in the front, Punisher up in the back. I love this one as well. This might be the one I actually display him with because it just looks really good. This is definitely going to be the pose on the thumbnail. So I know I don't own too many 12 scale figures yet, but the thing I love about them is since all the joints are actually exposed, you can just get them in some awesome poses. Because on, of course, that Hot Toys Daredevil, I highly doubt I could actually bend his knees like this and not worry too much about the suit material actually getting damaged, or of course, you know, actually being able to do it in general. And I don't really want to get him out to test right now. So 12 scale, they're awesome to pose with. So for this final pose, I have Daredevil throwing the billy clubs and the Punisher kind of maybe reloading, but he's also holding his knife. But this just looks awesome. Like I said, this is the perfect combo and I love these figures. I just love how they look. I love the articulation. Even though I got catfished, I like the likenesses to the characters from the show. It's 1/12 scale, so I can't expect as much quality as 6 scale. And yes, that's what I'm used to. So coming from someone who usually gets 6 scale, yeah, these figures are awesome. But now let me just give you my final thoughts. So I believe that Hasbro with this Marvel Legends Daredevil and Punisher did an amazing job. The articulation, especially on Daredevil, is awesome. I mean, you saw some of the poses I was able to get him into. They did give you all the accessories you need, although I do kind of wish they gave you the shotgun for the Punisher. That would have just been a nice little touch. But as for the look of the figures, I know I kind of got catfished by the images of Punisher online. You know, I saw that head sculpt and I was like, dang. That's Jon Bernthal. They could get that good in 1/12 scale. I need to order this right now. And honestly, these were the two figures that I first ordered for my first 12 scale. The Joel and Ellie I reviewed recently. Technically, those are the first ones I reviewed, but it's because I found them physically in store. And I was waiting for Amazon to release these ones to me, and they finally did, and now we're looking at them. Of course, the images made them look a little bit better than they turned out because that Punisher, yeah, that head sculpt's just the biggest downside because the expression, and yeah, I could talk about that all day. But if that's the only downside, then these are amazing figures. I know the head sculpt's looking good is a big part of the figures, of course, but I do think they still kind of nailed it. There's no way you can look at that and tell me that is not Jon Bernthal as the Punisher. So I'm going to go pose these figures up in my display now, but let me know in the comments what you think about them. Do you have them? Are you planning on getting them now? Or just talk about Daredevil Born Again? Let's just have a little discussion down there. If you enjoyed this video though, definitely give it a like and hit subscribe because we do tons of fun stuff over here. Reviews, figure previews, and everything like that, especially if you're more into 6 scale figures. And as always, I am thankful for the channel members. If you want to become a channel member yourself and see your name at the end of videos, definitely click join and pick a tier that interests you. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, month, year, everything, all the above. And until next time, stay 6 scale.